Random ass. I think it's Monday. I don't even know. I don't even know time anymore. Welcome to a random 4 p.m. Monday stream. I hope you all had a wonderful Monday, a wonderful start to your week. Welcome in, everyone. Sarah, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a random time for me. It feels weird streaming right now because this isn't a typical stream time for me, so I don't even know how to act. But hi, welcome in, everyone. I'm glad that it seems like a good time for stream, I guess. But I'm so sorry to my European serotonins. It is the middle of the night. Now you know what it's like to be an East Coast serotonin now, because they're always constantly watching streams in the middle of the night. At midnight, actually. So welcome in, and hello, Miss Benny. I can't wait to make soup with you. Everyone was really confused. Everyone's like, what is that? What is that? How do you do that? What kind of soup is that? Like, really? Let's just pause for a second and really think. What kind of soup is that? It's not that hard. It's not that confusing, guys. Yeah, you got this. If you think really hard, if you just utilize that. Oh wait, you guys don't even have a singular brain cell. It's fine. You really don't even need a brain cell to figure out what I'm talking about. But welcome in, everyone. Hello, Hoppy, Kawa, Mimy, Mokosh, Meowdy, Leprechaun, Kami, Kata, Nobu, Hotchick, Benny, Glum, Ducks, Blazin, Thiago, Tim, Abyssal, JonJonH, Fox, Saltor, Logan, Addy, Yoshiko, Firemaker, Dustbrock, Buggard, Mimic, Stray Wolf, Slacker, Rocket, Sawyer, welcome, Red. Hello, everybody. Welcome to stream. How are we doing today? Check-in time. It is a new week. How are we all feeling? How are we doing? Oh, chat is still borked. Does this every single time. I have to refresh it like at least 5 times for it to work. There we go. I'm glad everyone seems to be having a decent Monday. Normally when I ask people like, oh, how was your day? And when it lands on a Monday, they're always like, oh, Mondays suck. It did be a Monday today, but I'm glad it seems to be like okay for most people. Ah, you got a flu, Willow. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I don't know, with the seasons changing, temperature everywhere out of whack. Just, take care of yourselves. Make sure that you get fresh air, you take all your vitamins, you exercise, you sleep well. Otherwise, you die. And I have first-hand experience with this, and it's no good. So, what I recommend is probably not dying, not perishing, It's all the same to me when you're unemployed. Exactly. That's why I keep telling people, unemployment is in. We should just all quit our jobs, and then time won't even matter. Who cares? Who cares if it's a Monday? You don't work anyway. Every day is a weekend if you're unemployed. So unemployment is in. Quit your jobs, and become unemployed. I went to work on my day off. Oh my god, that is so terrible. That like feels bad, but also that's incredibly embarrassing. I am so sorry for your loss. I hope like before you got like too far into it. I guess that's true. On the flip side, you could also just work every single day. I don't know if that's legal, but if you just work every single day, then every day is the same as well. So either be like incredibly employed or unemployed. Don't do anything in the middle because I don't think that's worth it. I'd work 7 days a week. Yeah, you work 7 days a week to make good soup. Having time off, an emergency happened, so back to work. Okay, but you took your time off. Who cares about an emergency? Let other people handle it. Remember, we don't want to become important at work. As soon as we become important at work, it's over for us. So, yeah, never have anybody rely on you. It's legal if you employ yourself. Yeah, you can make soup every single day, Benny. And there's a will, there's a way. If you truly wanted soup, you would have soup every day. Exactly. That's how you keep your head down, do the bare minimum at work, and then nobody will ask for you ever. I think I have to go to work too tomorrow. I know. Boo! Cera Luceria has to go to work. But the last time I went to work, I got so sick. So I had to take a really long time away from work. And now I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. So I should probably go back to work. But just you wait. Just you wait. I know as soon as I go back to work tomorrow, I'm going to come home and start coughing and dying again. So please pray for me. I don't know. Yeah, did I tell you guys that I was thinking about quitting my job? I think I did. I think I did tell you guys that. But yeah, I was thinking about quitting my day job because every time I go to work, I just get sick with the hentai virus going on. Yeah, there is a hentai virus going on me. I'm the hentai virus. No, I always wear a mask. That's the thing, right? Like, I know for a fact that my immune system is shit, so I always prepare myself. I bring hand sanitizer. I wear a mask. But it just doesn't... Nothing helps. Nothing helps. I'll just die. I'll just die. It's fine. It's fine. Patient zero right here. Exactly, the hentai virus. I'm gonna serve you guys soup with the virus. You drink it, right?
Thank you.
Yoshko! Oh my gosh! What the flip? That's a lot of money, but we did it! We How did that even happen? Wait, I didn't even notice. Wait, I gotta put my headphones on. What happened? How did we get to 67.69 again? Oh my god! Thank you so much for the big old rocks. Thank you! Nobody donate again because we need to keep this bar at 6769. Oh my god. Embarrassing story time. I know we just started stream and there were a couple of things that I wanted to go over before I started yapping, but you guys are distracting me, so I'm gonna go on a tangent. Listen. I was doing my presentation over the weekend for school. It was over Zoom, so we weren't in person or anything, but my group had to present, and during the presentation, the criteria given to us was throughout the entire time we had to keep our camera on and we had to keep ourselves unmuted, okay? Just to make sure like we're not using AI or like we're not getting help from any external sources, because this is like a really big presentation. Okay, so we had to keep our camera on and our volumes on the entire time, and it was like a 45-minute presentation, okay? And well, so as you know, I still have a bit of a cough, and I can't tell like if it's because I'm sick. I don't think it's because I'm sick, but it could be like a lingering cough from before. But it could also be allergies. I'm noticing a lot of like allergy symptoms. So I don't know. It's either I'm just still sick, lingering cough, or it's allergies. But during my presentation, I had the biggest coughing fit, and I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. So luckily, it wasn't my turn to speak yet because I had group members, right? But my group members were just trying to present, and I was trying so hard to like not cough very loudly. So I had to interject. I had to be like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm coughing a lot, so I'm just going to mute. Okay, I was like, it has to be done. I have to mute. So I just literally like interrupted everybody, and I just started coughing like crazy. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, and I had considered getting up, but I was wearing pajama bottoms. Like my top half, I was so professional because, you know, it was a really important presentation and we had to dress professionally, but I was wearing pajama bottoms, so I was like, I can't even get up and leave. Yeah, I can't even get up and leave right now. I just kind of have to sit here and cough my lungs out while my group members are presenting. It was really embarrassing, and yeah, that's all I want to share with you because someone mentioned that I coughed on you guys, which is true. I coughed all over you guys as well, but if you thought that was bad, it was much worse when I had to cough during the middle of my presentations. And that's not the only embarrassing story that I have to tell. For one of my classes, we were speaking a little bit about like addictions. I can't remember the context for why that came up, but you know, addiction and trauma very closely linked and everything. And the professor basically asked a question. It was like, do you guys think that younger kids these days, like the new gen kids, do you think they are also dealing with like addictions and like gambling and stuff? And if so, like what form do you think the addictions take form in, right? And then like there were a lot of really good like guesses, a lot of like porn addiction, but then I was like, oh my god, I know exactly what this is. So I was like, it's freaking skin bedding and like loot boxes, right? It's skin bedding and loot boxes. Yes, that's the new gen addiction. And then he asked a question, and then he was like, I was like, yeah, that's true. It is like loot boxes and like skin bedding markets. And then he asked a follow-up he asked a follow-up question, and he was like, how many of you know what a skin market is? Sports betting? No, kids these days, they don't watch sports. That's just the thing. They don't care about sports. That's so boomer. That's so in the past. Your age is showing. And then like this older lady, she just like gasped. She was like, oh, no, is it what I think it is? Should I Google it? Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's literally you're just buying and selling like skins. Like game skins. But she was so concerned. Like she just gasped like so audibly, you know. Yeah. That's my story. Oh my gosh. And then he like, I guess it's because like I answered the question. He like kept asking me like follow-up questions. He was like, okay, so like, do you play CSGO? And, he's just like called out my name. He's like, Sarah, do you play CSGO? And I was like, no. And then he sounded so disappointed. He's like, oh, okay. I thought you would know. And then I was like, oh, okay, sorry. Do I look like I play CS? Like, what is going on? Yeah, actually, I stream Valorant and like Apex. Nobody plays CS these days. Yeah, who plays CSGO? Isn't there a new CS game out anyway? Like, yeah, I guess so. It was just really embarrassing all around. Outing myself like that. He was hoping someone would join his clan. And then, yeah, so those are just my stories from school. I also... She has no time for CSGO when she's defending her bronze in Valorant. Okay. You must be so cool. Okay, but, yeah, I don't think there's like a... I mean, you can buy skins. I know Valorant skins are like so expensive for some reason. I assumed they would be like the same price as League of Legends skins, but no. When I learned how expensive they were, I was like, what? Who the heck buys these things? But apparently a lot of people do. But I don't think they have like the actual market thing going on. But I don't know. I don't really play those games, so... What was I gonna say? In CS, you can... Yeah, I'm like really curious how that's regulated and how that's even like allowed, because low-key it sounds like it should be illegal considering the fact that so many kids play these games, you know? I know, Bull! Thank you so much for 15 months! Have fun at the gym. It's not regulated? Okay, well, I see where the problem lies then. My follow-up question is that how is it not regulated yet? Like, it's still a thing? You can't legally sell them for real money? Okay, but like, I guess, in legal terms, maybe. Yeah, my program, is really in touch with, like, the real world, I would put it. We talk about, like, all the things that's just happening in the current times. I'm not in a very, research-focused program. We're not very academia-ish, you know, like nobody's stuck up like that. Like, oh, I have 50 papers published, so you should only do quantitative research studies, blah, 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 blah. Like, none of that, right? It's a lot of like learning from experience, learning from the current times and contextual factors. So it's good. We have these conversations a bit, which I think is really helpful, but I guess it's more helpful for the older folks, because I'm kind of wondering how I would work with like boomers, you know? Well, all psychology is vibe psychology, let's be real. You know, like, for me, I feel like the gap here is connecting with older folks, connecting with the boomers. They are facing some regulation lawsuits. Huh. Interesting. Well, I hope they figure that out, because I can see how it can be a pretty big issue. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's just go off the fact that lots of the major theories, let's put aside like CBT and the older ones. Sure, those have more extensive research to them, but even the extensive research are based off of a weird population, right? Western educated, you know, a very privileged population. So it doesn't even quite generalize to most people, because most people aren't that privileged. So let's just set aside the older theories and the older modalities that are extensively researched, and even just look at like the newer theories and the things that are coming out. You know, we call them established. We call them like established theories and modalities, but they were like made like 15 years ago. They were created like 15 years ago. Some of them like even like 5-8 years ago, things like that. And we put it into textbooks and we're like, yeah, I know, this is good. Let's do this. Like, it works. Exactly. Like, I'm sure a lot of it works, but here's the thing, right? It's vibes. It's vibes. It's just vibes. Yeah. Wrong. I took 5 years of psychology. Okay, buddy. Sit down. Sit down. Come on. Be so for real. And a lot of it doesn't like take into account actual lived experiences. They don't take into account cultural values. And a lot of it is very much privileged. It's very much white. It's, you know, and on paper it looks good. Yeah, I can say for a fact that a lot of it looks really good on paper. Like, but it doesn't work for everyone. So how can it be scientific when it's not generalizable, right? Like, you can't, like, my experience is so different from your experience. Like, CBT works great for you, but it doesn't work great for me, right? There's literally a branch called cultural psychology, and literally, do you know what that means? Do you literally know what cultural psych is? But I do think that in recent years, like, we're making efforts to work towards like more inclusive, more trauma-informed, and more culturally informed, like theories and modalities. But it's really difficult because it's hard to say someone that is with This is really funny. This is such a funny conversation to have. Duologs, I think you should check your privilege right now. Because the fact that you're saying this shows to me exactly that you don't know what cultural psych is. But I admit, a lot of effort is being put towards like understanding more culturally inclusive areas in psych, but it's difficult because you can't say objectively that one experience is is scientific, is proven, is, you know, how do I say this? You can't say that one experience is an objective experience, right? When it comes to things like medicine or chemistry or physics, that you can get empirical and objective and scientific results. Oh my god, I'm the expert here. Do you know what degrees I have, buddy? No, there are trends. You're absolutely correct. There are trends, but trends are just trends. Is what I'm saying, right? Trends are literally just trends. And do you know what a trend is? Vibes. And definitely there are things like neuroscience and psychiatry and, you know, medication, psychopathology. Those things are, those things can be objective. Those are more scientifically based, right? But even things like the DSM, those aren't objective experiences. Like, the DSM itself is really problematic as well because it doesn't encompass the lived human experience. And honestly, people only use the DSM because they have to. People need to be diagnosed in order to access like government services, in order to access insurance. They need the diagnosis from the DSM. But the thing is, even the DSM is completely baloney. Even the DSM is completely baloney. First of all, it doesn't even, like, so many different aspects of mental illness isn't included in it. And if you don't tick off the boxes, like, exactly, you don't have PTSD, you don't have depression. Like, so much of what we base psychology off of, and like how we treat mental illnesses, how we view mental illnesses, it's really bad. It's honestly just vibe space. You can go to one physician and they could be like, okay, I understand. You need access to these services. I'll give you this diagnosis. And you could just go to someone else and they'd be like, no, you're fine. You don't have BPD. Why would you have BPD, right? Yeah, so like, diagnoses aren't accurate. Medications aren't accurate. It's just a very subjective human experience kind of field. And I think to gloss over that is inherently very problematic as well. Just to glance over the fact that so much of psychology is subjective and is just lived experience. Would make you a very terrible therapist. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so honestly, wrong. Okay, give me your credentials, duologues. Give me your credentials. You took 5 years of psychology. What's your degree? Right, and a big part... Exactly, a big part of therapy is trial and error. You're not going to like the first therapist that you work with, right? You're not gonna like them because you don't know what kind of therapy you're looking for. And everybody has such different styles when you're working with clients. You can say, yes, I'm using evidence-informed strategies, CBT, DBT, and all of that, but it still is so different from person to person. If I took the same DBT course as my friend, the things that we get out of it and the way that we would apply that to the people that we work with will be completely different as well, right? And what we learned the most in school right now is that there is no I have heard of EMDR. I am actually trained EMDR therapist. I have certification to actually do EMDR on you right now. Except I won't because that's incredibly unethical. And what was I saying? And yeah, the thing that we learned that is being stressed the most, actually you can do EMDR through stream. It's actually very easy to do EMDR through stream. People do it online all the time. What was I saying? I keep getting distracted. But yeah, wrong. I literally have certification that tells me I can do EMDR through the internet. Like, what do you mean wrong? Based off my subjective experience, wrong. Through stream, not through the internet? No, you can do it through stream. You can definitely 100% do an EMDR session through stream. I could do it right now using my VTuber model, but I'm not going to because that is incredibly unethical. EMDR really brings up a lot of feelings that I don't want you guys to have to sit through, you know. No, I think it's interesting. It's a lot of what we have to deal with, right? People thinking they know what they're talking about, but they really don't. And I think it's fun. I think it's funny. But yeah, so what we are taught is that there isn't a one-size-fit-all toolbox or strategy to working with clients. You really have to see where your clients are coming from, their intersectionality, their positionality, and you know, it's a very enviro-biopsychosocial approach to it. And you pick and choose from what you think would work best for the clients. So it's a very, very subjective experience. It really depends on who you are and who your therapist is. So my advice is always that when you're looking for a therapist, it's trial and error. You're probably not going to get the best fit for you right off the bat, right? It's a learning experience. What you need from a therapist, and you go from there, because I've had so many different therapists. I've had therapists, I've had counselors, I've had psychologists, and even though every single time I'm looking for, like, for example, CBT, I'm looking specifically for a CBT therapist. If I go to Benny, her style is going to be so different from if I go to Dux, right? But you're all doing CBT on me. So it's very trial and error, back and forth, and sometimes you hit the gold mine, and sometimes you really risk re-traumatizing yourself, especially if you get a therapist like Duologs. Yeah, so what to look out for if you don't want a good therapist? People who... well, you know what? You've already seen evidence of a bad therapist. You've seen in chat. Yeah, EMDR is really cool. It's just stimulating because your brain is not able to concentrate on two things at once. Like, seriously, hunker down and concentrate. So by stimulating bilateral stimulation, it keeps your mind off of the triggers that you're going to be asked to experience, right? So for example, normally how it's done is I hold up my hands and I just go left and right, and I tell you to follow my fingers. And just with your eyes, okay? So just follow my fingers with your eyes, and then you would think of the most traumatizing experience you have ever gone through. You would talk it out with me, and then you would look at my fingers back and forth, left and right, and the science is actually really cool. Yeah, like binaural ASMR. It's actually really cool. But again, EMDR is still really, really new as well. And we don't actually call EMDR scientifically, like, empirically proven method because there isn't a lot of rebuttal. For something to be like actually clinically significant and empirically proven, like CBT and DBT, those things, there needs to be a back and forth conversation between why it works, why it doesn't work, who it doesn't work for, and who it works really well for. But because EMDR is still really, really new, the research still isn't up to date with it. But it's really interesting. So it's not just, follow a light, you can do that as well. But anything that stimulates bilateral, like, stimulation, right? Like, I can tell you right now to cross your arms on your chest and just alternate your hands tapping your shoulders. Yeah, do that. Alternate between your hands and tap your shoulders. That's bilateral stimulation. You are stimulating the left and right side of your body. And yeah, you can also do the 6-7 hand movement. It's true. Anything that stimulates the left and right side of your brain over and over, right? And while you're doing this, you would think about all your trauma, basically. You would think about all of your trauma, yeah. But it's not that easy. There's a lot of nuance to it, of course, and you never want to tell people to think about your greatest trauma ever without making sure that they are safe first and foremost. Yeah, but you could 6-7 and up. You can also, there are those like vibrators. They're not like vibrate like sex toys, but you hold on to them and they vibrate. I forgot what they're called. They don't get used very often because it's just really inconvenient to get your hands on them, and you don't really use them for anything else. But you hold them in your hands, and then they vibrate in your left hand, and then your right hand, your left hand, and then your right hand. Yeah, but a lot of different ways that you could do a EMDR, and it's really interesting, but not scientifically proven just yet. Yeah, because all of the research that's been coming out is like, okay, this works, but in what context does it not work, right? And yeah, so I'm hopeful when it comes to EMDR. I think it's definitely something that works, but I'm interested in seeing where it goes. But really good for trauma work. Yeah, that's kind of like the same thing for a lot of like recent therapeutic modalities, things like IFS as well. IFS is really cool. I really love parts work, I think. Yeah, but there's still not a lot of back and forth conversation when it comes to that. I think recent years IFS has gotten a lot more research, but Yeah, so much of what we work with psychology is so incredibly new, and even the older psychology theories and stuff, they aren't even that old. They're still quite new in like the grand scheme of things, right? And back then, honestly, like Freud, he can just say anything. Like back then, as long as you were a man, as long as you were white, and as long as you had education, he could literally just say anything, and people would just be like, huh. Interesting. I think you're right. This has to be a fact. Like, yeah, if you had a nice suit, like seriously, like what is the Oedipus complex? Like, just go off. Say anything, King. I know. Happy birthday, Freud. My my greatest role model. Like, yeah, actually, I think that all men want to sleep with their mothers, and all daughters want to sleep with their fathers, and all daughters, instead of considering how it must have been terrible for women to live during this time, they must all want to be men because they envy our penises. Yes, that's the father of psychology, guys. That's what we base so many of our theories off of. It must be really hard being a woman in this day and age, but I think that it's probably because they want a penis. Exactly! They just took his word for it! Yeah, and that's the father of psychology! And that's the kind of guy that Duolox is saying, is it wrong? So let's just think, is that trauma-informed, guys? Do we want Duolox as an expert in psychology as your therapist? Oh yeah, and he was definitely a gooner. I'm pretty sure he was... I mean, not to make assumptions, but it kind of sounds like he was a little bit in the closet. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. A lot of projecting, but you know... That's our founding father. And when it comes to things like psychology, you know, it means different things for different cultures. Psychology means different things for the Chinese culture. There's a big spirituality aspect of that, right? And for indigenous and First Nations cultures, lots and lots of spirituality and connectivity in that. And you can't say that it's wrong just because you don't agree with it, right? You don't think, oh, those aren't up to scientific standards. That's why there's cultural psychology. Listen, I understand you took one cultural psychology class, but the purpose of cultural psychology is to teach people that all psychology needs to consider cultural components. It's not just, okay, people only cultural psychologists care about culture. All the other psychologists, they're American. Like, that's not what cultural psych is. Like, cultural psychology is there so that people consider culture in all of psychology. Okay? There. Get it in your head. You're probably right. He doesn't know how to read. And Freud is his goat. Yeah. Yes, no, I actually really like having these debates. I don't know if it's interesting for you guys or if you're just cringing because Duolox is being so embarrassing right now. But it's really fun for me because I'm really passionate about it, and I think it's good to talk about because it's so. It gets lost in a lot of day-to-day life, right? Like we throw out these terms and we just assume things are how they are, but I like talking about it. I think it's good to demystify some of these processes and how things work. Yeah! Yeah, I'm glad you guys are having fun. But yeah, and a big part of being a therapist is to, accept people as they are. I know I'm being a little bit rude, but that's for the content, okay? That's for the TikTok. That's for the Vine. But yeah, you accept people for who they are and how they are, and you recognize that there are a lot of different factors that go into why people are the way that they are, right? I don't think having a different opinion from me makes you a bad person. I don't think it makes you any kind of person. You're just different from me. And yeah. It's fine. Not everyone's gonna agree on the same things, and well, some people are just objectively wrong. But you really can't be a therapist unless you can accept that in people. Unless you can accept that, yeah, people are just a product of their environment, and it's okay to be different and have different opinions, and I can still help you, I can still work with you, and I can still want the best for you, even if you're wrong. Well, it is because Freud was white. Like, I'm not saying I'm not having this like conversation about racism or anything, but bringing up the fact that so much research was done on white people is valid because honestly, like more than half the world is not white. So we need more research that's not just on white people and like white culture and traditions. And how can we say psychology is scientific when we don't consider half the population, right? I'm not saying, oh, white people are just better or like they're worse, right? That's not what I'm talking about. But the fact is, if we're going to say something is scientific, it has to apply to everyone. It has to apply to everyone. How can it be scientific if it's only white people that it applies to, right? So it's not scientific. It's just American. It's just European. It's just Canadian, right? Yeah, and especially like if we don't think about race, let's think about gender. I don't care what your opinion is on gender, but there is like hard, solid proof that the majority of research behind like drugs, medication, there's heart medication that was only tested on men, on biological males, and it's being advertised as being safe for biological females. And that's not how it works. It caused a lot of different problems to occur. And women died. They dropped like flies because they took this heart medication that they think works for them. But it doesn't because it was only tested on men, right? So, yeah, it's not about like, oh, racism, oh, white people. It's about if we want to be scientific, if we want to say that psychology is a science, then we have to consider everybody and not just the perspective of the dominant group. Does that make sense? So until we can do that, psychology is just vibes. Maybe it'll work on you, but I'm not actually sure because the research is only done on other people. But that was fun. I like having that chat. I think it's nice to talk about it. I'm very passionate about this. Yeah. That was 3 blinks. Right, chat? Well, I'm not the one embarrassing myself, so... Psychology degree requires statistics class to understand things like proper sample sizes. Tell me what a sample size is without Googling it, Duologs. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being so mean. You know what? We can agree to disagree. You obviously think you're very knowledgeable in this area and that you're an expert in this area, and you know what? I don't agree, but we can agree to disagree, and you... Oh, that was funny. Oh, that was funny. I had a good time. You're so noble, humble. Oh yeah, I'm like so humble. You know what? I actually got this really interesting question in my Maros yesterday, and I just wanna. You know what? I think I wanna answer it. I think it's a really good question. Let me see where it is. I have to pull it up. I don't know what Delta is doing in chat. Can you stop modding, Delta? Because it's making things worse. Just stop. What's going on? I know, because I know Delta's gonna be like, oh, I misclicked again. Okay, where is it? Wait. Here. I had... Yeah, I know. Delta's earning their paycheck, just killing people at random. I mean, I guess that's true, right? Just tick off a box here. I'm modded. I'm just kidding, Delta. You're fine. You're good. She just met her quota. Her moderator quota. Okay, so I got this Maro, I think, in the middle of my ASMR stream last night, I think, and it reads, do you ever worry about serotonin's cacophony might be doing to your psyche as a streamer? I'm not trying to imply anything here, and I'm not trying to suggest anything nefarious is happening. It's more a generic question about what it's like to have an audience as a micro celebrity. Oh my god, I'm a micro celebrity! It's just, there are thousands of people who hang on your every word and have nothing but praise, positive affirmations, well wishes, and sweet tidings. Sure, there might be some haters, but there's also a boundless spring of validation. And I don't have any frame of reference for what that's like. I think that's a genuine question. I'm not gonna make fun of the question at all. I think that's a valid question to have, right? And it's very interesting. And you know what? Since we're talking on the topic of psychology, I think that's a really interesting question to answer. So the question basically is asking, like, how can you maintain, like, I guess, mental stability or like not have an inflated ego, being a micro celebrity and being a streamer, being in this being in this echo chamber of like positivity and like having people just throw back similar opinions, which as you can see, that's not always the case, right? That's not always the case. Yeah, is it a problem that everyone keeps stroking your ego every day? That's true. I agree with Dulox on that. You do need to have a big ego in order to grow. I think you need to really put aside the whole ego business. Like, think Blue Lock. Like, if you want to be the best striker in Japan, you have to be the biggest ego striker ever. Things like that, right? But no, I think it is interesting, but having a big ego and having like confidence in your ability, I think is different from just like thinking you're the best person ever, right? I think there's a difference. Like, yes, you need confidence, you need to believe that you are the best in order to be the best. But that's also different from just being a shitty person. But I think for me, I am someone... Okay, I think I'm in a very unique position, and I don't think I can speak for most people who maybe do what I do and stream the things that I stream. But for me, I am old. Not that old, but relatively old. It's not like I just became an adult and can just be influenced by a bunch of strangers on the internet, right? Like, yes, you guys influence me, you bring me confidence, you bring me happiness, but at the same time, I know who I am as a person. I'm very self-aware, and a lot of the therapist training that we have to do is like meditation and self-reflection, understanding my privileges and barriers to success, and who I am as a person. So I personally am very grounded. Obviously, there are moments where I'm like, the attention is so nice. I really like the attention. It's getting to my head. I must be like the best streamer ever. But yeah, there are moments when that happens. I think that's just human nature, right? But then on the flip side, there are also moments where it's like, oh man, I'm never gonna grow. I'm like the shittiest streamer ever. Like, what am I even doing, right? Like, it's fine to oscillate between those two states, and I think that's what makes you human, right? Having self-doubts, but then also being confident in yourself. But yeah, I'm kind of unique in that I have to be very grounded. I have to be very self-aware, and I go to therapy a lot. And I am a therapist. So, I mean, almost. But yeah, I think you just have to, like, understand who you are and what you need, because I think streaming, and especially like you said, right, being a micro celebrity and having this echo chamber of just positivity, it can get to your head and it can be really, I think, harmful. It's true, yeah. And I think if it's something that you are not prepared for, it can really fuck you up, which is why so many people get burnt out, right? You get burnt out, which is why so many people quit, graduate, and
Super
thank you, Mimic! Thank you so much for the soup! And it's hard. I wouldn't say like it's a really, really traumatizing or like difficult experience. Nothing like that. But I imagine if you were like not very in tune with yourself, not very grounded, I think that'd be hard to navigate for sure. Yeah, a lot of emotional labor, right? Like I talk a big game, but like whenever I get a hate message, it's still really, it stays with me, even though every day I'm receiving so many kind-hearted, genuine, and sweet messages from everyone else. But like, I don't know, the one hate message that I get like once every 2 weeks or something, like that's what sticks out to you as well. And yeah. but like when you put yourself out there on the internet, it's inevitable that people aren't going to agree with what you say. People aren't going to like you. You can't please everybody, right? And it is what it is, and it's definitely something hard that you have to navigate if you do want to become a micro celebrity. Thank you guys. I know I'm good. Or at least decent. But yeah, it's a really interesting question. So and I think as a streamer you also have a certain level of responsibility for the things that you say. Like, I know I crack jokes. Sometimes I say things just for the shock value. But like, I think you do have a certain level of responsibility to your viewers and to your audience, right? Like, I don't think like you're responsible for everything that your viewers do. That's just not possible. But the kind of relationship that you cultivate, the kind of environment that you create when you stream, I think it's something that you have to balance. It can't just all be like, love me, 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 right? Like, only praise me. You can't ever bring up any feedback. You can't ever criticize me, right? I don't think that ends up being very healthy for anybody. And like, yeah, sometimes I pick out people and I'm a little bit mean, I'm a little bit rude, like with Dualox, but I know Dualox can take it. He's been on the internet for years, but I would never like single anybody out and like, you know, put them on blast unless I'm aware that they're comfortable with it, right? And I think the same thing applies with you guys. Like, if you have criticism, if you have feedback, there's always a way to do it that's not like, you suck. Yeah, like, don't bully the streamer. That's not fun. But yeah, you can't only look at the positives. You can't solely focus on that and just like ignore everything else, because I don't think you can grow that way. At the same time, you need to strike a healthy balance between how much of that negativity you're letting influence you and your perception of yourself, right? Yeah, sometimes you miss a canon minion and you just gotta say it. You just gotta call yourself out, buddy. And it's okay. Sometimes that happens. And you know what? I think this is a really good segue into boundaries, in which I kind of want to touch on a little bit right now. It's nothing serious, so don't worry, I'm not calling anybody out, but I am also aware that we are kind of moving into a different Cera Luceria arc, a different chapter of our journey together as I dabble more into 18 plus and NSFW work. I think it's good to establish some boundaries and some expectations. This isn't like a really heavy topic or anything, but I think it's just good to put it out there. Like I said, right? My words hold power, and the kind of relationship that we cultivate together is important as well. My main concern is that I don't want any single person, whether you're an active chatter, or you're a lurker, or you're a VOD watcher, I don't want anybody to feel bad when they consume my content and when they interact with me, right? Like, yes, we are going to be leaning more into, you know, intimate settings, intimate role plays. We're going to be sharing a side of ourselves that is like really intimate, and we don't really do that with people unless well, even if you are really progressive, like it's still a very intimate space that we have to be in, right? So yeah, let's goon ethically. And I've always said this since the very beginning, I don't mind being parasocial. I love being parasocial. I'm obsessive, I'm clingy, and I'm needy, and I don't mind showing that to you guys, and I don't mind you guys showing that to me as well. But my concern here is that you, as a grown adult, and yes, you have to be a grown adult to access the NSFW content. Don't let me catch the fact that you're a child, because I will bonk you on the spot. Right? So when we do tread into more intimate spaces, I want you, grown adults who are accessing this content, to be aware of your limits and your boundaries as well, right? Because I don't want any of you guys to get hurt. And I understand that saying this out loud breaks immersion and, oh, it's not ethical, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm telling you this to be ethical, right? Oh yeah, if you're a child, let us know, because I'm giving away a PS5 to a kid in chat. Yeah, learning to know your limits and to not hurt yourself in the process of creating a bond and forming a bond with me, I think is really, really important, because yes, we're married. I love you very much, and it's genuinely the truth that I care about you guys as individual people, because we spend so much time together. We spend like at least 4 days out of 7 days a week together, right? And it's inevitable that when that happens, we bond. That's human nature. We bond with each other. I recognize your names. When you're not here, I feel sad. For the lurkers who don't leave a comment, I feel sad too, you know, like the VOD watchers. Like, that's just how it is. Like, 6 or 7 days, I mean, I don't know, 6, 7. That's just how it is, because we're social creatures, and I'm never going to, like, say, no, you can't watch me if you love me, because I love you too. And I care about you and what happens in your life. But the reality is, even though we're married, and don't get me wrong, we are very married, this is real life, I can't marry each and every single one of you individually. Like, just as a person outside of YouTubing, right? That's just not going to happen, because how can I still be Cera Luceria and love everybody if I only really love one of you, right? Like, that's just not gonna happen. I'm putting it out there. If you want to groom me, I'm so sorry. I'm like fucking 1 billion years old. I literally know what manipulation tactics look like. So it's just not happening, right? So yeah, what I'm saying is that I want to be intimate and share those spaces with you, but I want everybody to feel safe and comfortable when we are in that space. And I never want anyone to get in their heads and have to, you know, worry or like ruminate over like, oh, this or that. Like, maybe am I like too obsessed with Cera Luceria? You know, you can't be too obsessed, because I'll allow it, but you have to know how much is too much for yourself. Does that make sense? So my main point here is that even as we transition into more intimate ASMRs, more intimate role plays, my top priority is to make sure that you are safe, you are healthy, you are happy, and that the time that you spend with me is a positive. It adds on to your life. It should never take away from your life, okay? If at any point your love for me or my love for you starts taking away from your life, then I think that's a good indicator that sometimes we have to reevaluate and reflect, right? So as long as what we share with each other brings about positivity, brings about happiness and joy, and just like silly fun times for you, then it's totally fine, right? But yeah, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about if I put it that way. Yeah, but we are still married, and if you ever say anything like we're not married, or like you don't even know me and I'm just a streamer, I will get very upset. So don't do that. And yeah, don't cheat on me. Actually, I don't really care. I just say that because I have to play the bit. But don't cheat on me. If you cheat on me, if I catch you watching anyone else's stream, I will kill you on the spot. I don't actually care. I don't actually care. Well, if we're watching someone together, then that's different. Yeah, other streams? What's that? No, not to call anybody out, but sometimes I'm like streaming, and then I also like supporting my friends, right? So I always have a couple streams pulled up in the background. Sometimes I just like watching cute girls, and then yeah, I see some of you sometimes. I don't want to say if I'm seeing any of you right now, but but you know, you could be smart and just use a different account. I see you. I plead the fifth. You know, I didn't name any names or anything, but like... And what do you mean you don't have like multiple different personalities online to interact with your different Oshis so they never intermingle and they never find out that you're a cheating slut? But yeah, I'm glad we got that out in the open. Again, it's not directed at anybody. I just think that we should talk about this because I am moving on to doing things that I haven't ever done before and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm so serious. I've had to ask Penny for help like so many times because I don't know what I'm doing like at all when it comes to these things. So, yeah, we're all learning and I just want to make sure that you're good, right? And of course, there's the issue of like respect, but for the most part, like I haven't noticed any of you guys being disrespectful like ever. And you know for a fact that if you're disrespectful, I call you out. You know, like if you ever say anything that doesn't sit right with me, I'm not afraid to just call you out on that. And now Hot Chick is modding. Stop modding! Yeah. I don't really think we need to... Well, yeah, be respectful. Don't push me to do anything I don't want to do, but I don't really think that's an issue for now. I've already said it before. I'm going to take things at my own pace. I'm going to do whatever I'm comfortable with. And, yeah, I'm going to have fun, take my time exploring this new world, and... we'll see where that takes us, and I'm glad if you would come along on this journey with me. And if that's not your cup of tea, hey, I get that. That's totally fine. YouTube's gonna stay completely the same, so don't worry. You're not gonna be left behind. I'm not changing myself or reinventing myself completely. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to trying out new things with everyone. Mimic, thank you! Thank you for the soup! Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say regarding like boundaries and stuff, but I think that was just the main thing. Everything else is pretty solid. Until you enter your carbuncle phase. What? I thought everybody liked that. Is this not a voice that you fuck with? Because, then you just have terrible taste? We enter the idol arc after the earplay arc? Okay, I have considered that. I've thought about it so much. Like, I want to learn how to sing. But, yeah, that's not gonna happen until I'm finished with school. I just don't have it in me to, like, pick up a hobby. Like, a whole entire skill that I have to practice and put hours into. Knowing that I don't have the time for that right now. But... yeah, I do want to have an idol arc. I think it would be so fun to have an idol arc. Eventually, one day, I don't plan on like quitting VTubing anytime soon. So if you stick around, you'll probably be able to witness it. But yeah, not anytime soon. That would be fun, right? It also feels really bad. Like, there are so many, like, VTuber events and, like, conventions and stuff that you kind of have to know how to sing and kind of have to be an idol to be a part of. And it's so lonely, like, looking at it from the outside because I'm like, damn, I would love to do that. And just... not having those opportunities. Well, it's my fault because I don't have that skill. But I'm just saying, it sucks. It sucks. I want to be a part of it too. Yeah, one day we'll get there. Yeah, my 3D is pretty much done. Well, I think it's getting tweaked a little bit. But yeah, I just have to set it up and set up the trackers. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with the trackers actually, because a lot of it is magnetic and there's a lot of interference on my desk. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to do this. And like my microphone, I literally have to be like right here. I have to just put my mouth literally right next to the mic, right? So I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to position myself and my microphone once I do 3D. But yeah, all my efforts are going into still soundproofing the place. I think it's coming along really, really well, actually. I have, just a little bit more soundproofing I have to do before I can say like it's completely soundproofed. But yeah, PC's fine. PC can handle it. But yeah, it might just have to be on a crunchy Xbox mic or something. I don't know. Yeah, like my headset mic. Yeah, it's just probably just gonna have to end up being really crunchy. That's really funny. I actually have the Tyler One the Tyler One headset, you know, the Logitech blue ones, and I had those for the longest time because they were cheap, right? But it didn't even break or anything, but I just couldn't use it anymore. As soon as I learned about Tyler One, I was like, oh, I can't use these headphones anymore. So I don't even know if I still have it, but it's like not broken or anything. Do you have the Tyler One head dent? I don't have the head dent because I don't use headphones anymore. How much did it cost? Let's just say it was expensive. Yeah, 3D I think is expensive. You can definitely get like more like cheaper options for 3D. I didn't even get a very high-end model because I'm not an idol. I'm not like imagining myself doing concerts or anything. Like my 3D model is just gonna be for silly, stupid streams and like ASMR streams. So that range really varies. You can get a cheaper model, but you can also get a really expensive model depending on how much you want to splurge, right? But I think for someone that is very used to using Live 2D models, I find 3D to be more expensive. Yeah, especially if you want like really, really, really high quality, like high-end gear, like mocap suits and stuff. Like hundreds. If it's hundreds and thousands of dollars, right? But again, the range is there. And the same thing goes for Live 2D models too. It's a really big range. You can get a cheaper model, you can get a more expensive model. But I think like in terms of like gear and hardware, as long as you have a phone for like tracking for like 2D models, you're set, right? And for 3D, you need more space, which is hard. Only 10k for the cheap one, easy peasy. Does Glitch Stars have 10k?
Wow, thank you so much for the treasure.
3D Girafunds.
Thank you, Thiago! But how dare you! I can't believe it's you again! I can't believe it's you again! You ruined my beautiful, funny number, Thiago. You ruined it! Yeah, you're rich. Uh-huh. That's not what I asked. Is Glitch Stars rich? For salvation? I don't know. Destroy the green bar. Well, we almost got it. We're just $100 away. Ruin our beautiful 6769. Chat, this is so sad. Can we get another funny number? Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, as with most VTuber agencies. I think you should just funnel all of your personal money. If you're personally rich, just funnel all of your money into your company or VTuber company. Stray, thank you so much for 15 months! Green is best 6-7. This is true. Okay, another embarrassing story. We are veering off from this, I guess, more serious talk, but I was in another class on another day, and I guess we were deciding like who wanted to work with what first. So the professor was like, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. All the group leaders.
Wow, thank you so much for the treasure.
Oh my god!
Rock.
No way, Volkosh! I didn't even remember 420! 420 is also a funny number. Oh my gosh. Volkosh. Wow, what a blast to the past. 42069. Thank you so much. This is the best day of my life. Thank you. A classic. You're so right. Yeah, 42069. I have not thought about 420 in so long. And the bar is green. I'm green. You're green. We're all green. Oh my god, I think 420 should be my number. I don't think it should be 6-7 anymore. What was I saying? Yeah, so the group leaders got to choose like a number between 1 and 100, and this other person said 67, and I just automatically assumed that she was joking because somebody said beforehand, someone said 69. So like everybody gave a good chuckle. Everyone's like, haha, of course you did 69, haha, funny number. And then somebody afterwards said 67, and I just assumed, like, you know, okay, we made a joke about 69, like this must be a 6-7 joke, right? So on the Zoom meeting, with my camera on, I was like, 6-7, and I did the whole hand movement. I did the whole hand motion, and nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. What do you mean everybody gave 69 a chuckle, but nobody said anything about 6-7? Oh my god. What do you mean everyone chuckled at 69, but when I did 6-7, nobody laughed, huh? Huh? It's fine. It's fine. And with that, I'm gonna go pee because that's just so embarrassing, isn't it, chat? I'm gonna go hide in the bathroom. Maybe even flush myself down the toilet. I don't know. Be right back.
Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Is this really for me? Thank you. Super chat.
What the heck is happening? I just dropped everything. As soon as I sat down, I just dropped everything on my desk. Oh my god! Goodbye, funny number! Blood Moon! Thank you so much! We hit our monthly stream budget! Now we can finally banish this green bar. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think next month we probably won't need one because I've already paid for most of the big projects that I'll be working on. But don't feel too comfortable. Don't feel too safe. The green bar can always strike back. But thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. This is really, really sweet. Where the heck is the bar that... Get rid of it! Get rid of it! Get rid of it! Here we go. And thank you guys for the peace, Kata, Molkosh, Thiago, Undercover, JonJonH, Raven, Mold, Yoshiko, Smoky. Oh my gosh, is Smoky at work? Thank you! Yes, you can never feel too safe because the green bar can always strike back. But I think we're good for now. Thank you guys so much for helping me out. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Start the June bar, the July bar. Okay, $2. I mean, I don't know, unless I decide to start some crazy big project again, which probability to that is never 0. Now that I'm an indie, you know what? I can just start projects whenever I want, which is bad because then I don't really consider the finances. But if I wanted to, I could.
Wow, thank you so much for the treasure.
Tree fitty? Oh my gosh, can we get a tree fitty, everybody? Thank you, Thiago. Okay, my June bar has now been filled up to the brim. Actually, I bought some more toys. I don't know if I should talk about this right now or if this is a better conversation for earplay, but yeah. I bought some more toys. Now I have to figure out where to keep them because I know my mom is gonna snoop.
Thank you so much for the treasure.
Tree fitty! Thank you, Molkosh! Thank you so much. No more tree fitties. Now we have too many tree fitties. That's like 7 o'clock. I'm looking on like Amazon for like a, I don't know, like one of those storage boxes with like a lock for it, but I don't know, I feel like that would make it even more suspicious. My mom snoops everything. She snoops everything. There's never a secret with this woman. She just wants to know everything. So I think I just kind of have to buy like a storage box with a lock, and she's just gonna be like, what is this? Can you show me what this is? Like, open this. And I'm just gonna have to be like, nope. It's gonna drive her crazy. But I think it's better than her knowing that. I'm just keeping a box of toys. You could pry up the floorboard. I feel like she would be able to sniff that out as well. She'd be like, why the floor look weird here? Something is off, right? You could buy a safe. But then with a safe, she's gonna be like, oh, what are you keeping from me? Are you like keeping money from me? Like, what's going on here? No, my mom has access to all my personal documents. She like... Yeah, that is how it is when it comes to a sheltered Asian daughter. Like, she keeps track of everything. She has all of my documents, my certificates. She does my taxes every year because she's an accountant and she loves doing taxes. And she will, like, not let me do my own taxes. Boundaries, none. There are none. You can't have any boundaries in this household. But it's also very, like, cultural, right? Like, it's weird for you guys, but it's just what I'm used to. It's what, you know, we're all used to when you grow up with very strict Chinese parents. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's not that out of the ordinary, but yeah, it's just culture, family structure, how you're raised. And I live at home, so it feels really bad to be like, no, actually, I'm not gonna listen to you. I mean, I feel very very lucky because I have a good relationship with my parents. I mean, at least now I have a good relationship with my parents, especially my mom. And I get to live at home pretty much for free. I mean, I pay rent, but I'm like 98% sure that my mom just takes that money and saves it up to give it back to me in the future. I know for a fact she's not gonna pocket that money. But yeah, I'm very lucky. I get to live at home pretty much for free. She drives me everywhere. She cooks for me. I mean, I cook for her too, but she cooks for me. And it's good. I feel very privileged. I feel very lucky that I don't have to worry about getting my own place, getting kicked out, and, you know, learning how to drive. That really sucks. I have a lot of trauma when it comes to driving. So I feel very lucky. But at the same time, I also feel like, you know, it would be good to have a little more independence. I would like to feel more like a person. Like, maybe having some more life experiences as a grown adult would be good. But I'm not really complaining. I'm not really complaining too much. But it would be good to, you know, be my own person and not have to worry about my mom stumbling across my tentacle-shaped dildo. I don't know. But yeah, in this economy, it's just not possible. Right? It's just not possible. Like, why would I spend, like, waste thousands and thousands of dollars renting my own place, paying my own bills, and all of that when I could just save all my money, hoard all my money, and live at home? Exactly! And that's also my mom! And she's like, oh, you live at home, you have no life experiences, I'll never allow you to invite any men over. But, like, when are you getting married, by the way? like, oh my god, it's so funny. Like, I always bring it up to her. I'm like, so I should get married, but how? And she's like, oh, just go meet someone. You're old enough now. And then I bring up, like, okay, so, I can bring them home, like, for dinner to meet you if I ever meet someone. Like, you know, obviously, I'm an adult now. And she's like, no. Like, okay. So, so... It's like, how does this happen? Is this magical? Like, I just want a husband out of nowhere? But it's fine. It doesn't really bother me. I'm not really looking for that right now. Anyway, I have too much on my plate. I think having to deal with a man would literally drive me insane. I have to deal with so many men on the internet already. You know? So, I don't really care. It's not a pressing issue, but I just think it's really funny that she brings it up all the time, but she doesn't even consider the logistics behind it, you know? Yeah, I just tell her that I have a billion husbands on the internet already. Stop worrying about it. Yeah, I just go to the husband store and buy a husband. Easy. And just yeah, it's true. The lack of privacy sucks, but I would rather have no privacy. I mean, it's also because I'm on good terms with my mom, right? We're really close. So, it's fine. I share everything with her. Well, almost everything. Obviously, I'm not gonna tell her about what I do on the internet. I think that's just my own thing. She doesn't really need to know. But like most things, like I can tell my mom and she can tell me. So, it's not too bad, but obviously the husband thing is funny. And my main gripe with this is like, I just don't have a lot of lived experience. Like, yes, I have experience, lived experience in a lot of different areas, like for work, working with children, working in a school system, with therapy and counseling and mental health. I'm really well versed in that area because those are just things that I've learned, right? But I don't feel like I've been given that freedom to learn other things. Like, I don't know, like a lot of what I do know is like book smarts, right? And to be a counselor, to be a therapist, you kind of have to know about the world. And it's very different being like, okay, I'm a social justice warrior, I'm on the internet all day and I understand like the political climate and this and that and this, but it's very different when it comes to like actually knowing what it's like in the community, working with the community, and just like going out of your way to experience those things, I think. Yeah. But I'm working on it. So my life XP bar is low. It's true. It's true. My XP bar is too low. You can just read Reddit and said, I don't know how to read, so that doesn't work for me either. Therapy for content creators, yeah, let me just invite like content creators onto my new talk show, and I just go through the DSM with the VTuber, and then I diagnose you. Yeah, you're diagnosed mentally ill. Congratulations. Well, that's not really news, right? Because you're a VTuber. We've already known that you're mentally ill. And honestly, duologues, based off of everything that you say, I can see as well. Glitch stars. But, you know, yeah, and if they don't fit anything within the DSM, then I think they just have to graduate because you're not mentally ill enough to become a VTuber, and that is just the prerequisite. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna read it out loud. I'm not gonna say anything. Sorry. I'm okay. That wasn't even that funny. Oh my god. I'm okay. Okay. So, how do we feel about a 4 p.m. PST stream? I know it leaves out a lot of EU people, and this isn't a time that I would be able to stream frequently, but I liked it. I think it was fine. I just don't have a lot of time to stream at 4 p.m. But it's good to know that it works out for people, because now that if I know I have time, I can just stream now, I guess. Yeah, it's not gonna be like, let's switch all of my streams to 4 p.m. PST, right? That's not gonna be how it works. ASMR is still going to be at my usual time at nighttime PST for me, because then that's just how it's gonna work, right? And I still want to have morning streams at 10 a.m. But this time I think would work out if it's occasional, if we sometimes want to just do a ZATSU or play a game during this time. I think that would work. But yeah, with work, with school, 4 p.m. is kind of prime time, you know? It's kind of prime time for me to be productive and get out and about and do stuff. So we're not going to switch everything over, but it's good to know that the option is here. Yeah, with the 10 a.m. streams, it makes me much more productive because I'm actually forced to wake up quite early. Well, not that early, but still relatively early. And then after stream, I have the whole day to like do other stuff. But those would have to happen on days where I don't have my day job, where I don't go into work. But the same thing with 4 p.m. streams, right? With 4 p.m. streams, I would still be at work or barely getting back from work, and I'd be too tired. So I still want to be able to stream on the days where I have work, unless I push it to like, I don't know, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. But then I get hungry, so it doesn't work.
Yippee!
Yeah. It's good to know that we have this as an option. But Saber, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a serotonin. Mwah. Just go full-time streamer, Fivehead? I don't know if I want to take advice from you. But yeah, I'll probably quit my day job soon, just because I keep getting sick, and it's really getting in the way of my productivity. It's really getting in the way of everything, actually. Life in general just like stops when I get sick. So yeah, I'll probably be quitting my day job soon. It's sad, but it is what it is. But even then, I wouldn't be a full-time streamer. I'm doing good, Saber. I hope you've been doing well too. Oh man, this guy's a comedian! But yeah, also the problem with 4 p.m. streams for me is that, like, guys, I have to make dinner. Like, sure, maybe on days where my mom is making dinner, like, I think she's making dinner today, I'm not actually sure. Like, this is prime time for dinner making, and I'm starting to get hungry. So, if I'm streaming now, and then after my stream, I still have to go make dinner, that's gonna really suck. I guess it does give me a reason to end stream, but I don't want to end stream is the thing. I'm thinking about ending stream now just to go make sure if I have dinner or not, but I don't want that. I don't want to end stream. How early is your dinner? Well, typically I try to eat around 5 p.m., which is why around midnight during our ASMR streams, my stomach starts... It's not good for you to eat too late into the day, so I try to not eat anything after dinner. Just never end stream, I guess. Yeah, I'm like starving right now. After dinner stream I've thought about as well, but that works even worse. Because after dinner, we have to clean up. We have to, you know, wash the dishes, take the garbage out, take the dog out on a walk. So after all of that happens, it's pretty much 9 p.m. already. So that's when I typically stream anyway. Hi, Smoky. I knew you were at work. Welcome. So yeah, that's why, I mean, also my streams are late for ASMR because people are sleeping, my dog's not barking at the mailman every 2 seconds, or just anything outside, because that's what he does. It's just easier for ASMR at nighttime. Oh yeah. It sucks having to do stuff when all you want to do is stream, doesn't it? Maybe one day I can just give it my all into streaming. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end stream here. I think we had a really productive chat. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun. I know we kinda it wasn't that silly, and we kinda had more serious topics to chat about. But I really like talking about, you know, psychology and therapy, and I think that was really interesting. Again, of course we can agree to disagree, right? And I completely respect that. But I just think that it's nice that I get to share my opinions and share my passion with all of you without a lot of judgment. I mean, there was judgment from one person in particular, but like, for the most part, I feel really safe. I feel really comfortable with you guys, and that's really what I want out of VTubing, right? I don't want it to be an echo chamber. I don't want you guys to just agree with everything that I say. I want to be able to have these safe conversations with you guys and not, you know, get in a big old fight over it. So sorry, I have more years of college. I really don't think that's true. I think Duologs like just literally does not even know what he's talking about right now. He does not know the lore. He's trying to mansplain to me. And that is the most accurate usage of mansplaining ever. And I think it's just so funny. But yeah, I like being able to talk about things with you that I'm passionate about and have a back and forth with you all. But yeah, I learn from you and you learn from me, right? And it was nice talking about the boundaries that we're setting as well. I think that needed to be said. Yeah, that was fun. I hope you guys had a good time too. I hope you had a chill, fun time just listening to me yap or yapping with me. Let's pull up the schedule. Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh god. You don't want to hear my stomach right now. Alright. I have tomorrow off because I have to work in person tomorrow. Boo! That Wednesday, I'll be doing a 10 a.m. morning stream. We're gonna be playing some more Tomodachi Life. Excuse me. I added in a few of my friends, so I'm excited. I'm not gonna spoil it. But I am excited to show you guys my friends that I've added. I haven't touched the game outside of going in and making me's, so I actually don't know what's going on. I hope Ceratonin and Cera got together though. I hope that they got together. And then on Friday, I will be doing a maid-themed ASMR roleplay at 9 p.m. PST on YouTube. And then we'll be busting out some of my new toys for for the earplay stream that's coming up after that. And then on Sunday, it won't be on my channel, but I will be collabing with Miss Haywon on her channel. Yeah, I'll be linking it over on like Twitter and stuff, so you won't miss it. It is going to be at 7 p.m. though. So just to let you guys know, 7 p.m. that is a very active time in my household. My mom's out and about, my neighbors are out and about, my dog is out and about. So there's gonna be a lot of noise, but I think it'll still be fun. I think it'll be good. Oh, we're not doing that soup. We're not doing kitty soup. But yeah, kitty soup. Yeah, it's gonna be a say-so ASMR, okay? It's gonna be so say-so. You don't have soundproofing? I mean, I have soundproofing, but even with soundproofing, it's not like... It's more like to keep the white noise inside my room at a acceptable rate. And to keep, like, my mom freaking sneezing. Like, out of things, right? But if my dog was to start barking, I don't think any soundproofing would stop that. Like, I would need to, like, I don't know... be in a box. Yeah, it's not magic. I think even an actual booth, if my dog were to bark, it would still be audible. You could still hear my dog bark. even an actual booth, right? Yeah, I just need a concrete box and just boop, plop myself in there. Ego! Thank you so much for the soup! Yeah, my dog really likes ASMR, what can I say? He does have a lot of anxiety, so maybe it helps him with the anxiety. With enough foam? Well, I would have to probably tear the walls down and like actually put foam in between the walls, but... Surely, if I foamed up my dog, if I stuffed some foam in my dog's mouth, then he'd stop barking, right? Don't do that. Don't do that to your dogs. Don't do that. Okay, you know, I was unboxing. The only time that I could unbox my toys, by the way, because my mom was out grocery shopping this morning, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna unbox this really fast. She loves unboxing things with me. She is so nosy. I unboxed it, and you know, the appendage came out, and I was just like kind of like flailing it around, getting a feel for it, and my cat came and like gave it a kiss. And I was like, what? I was like, get away from this. This is not for you. What is wrong with you? I was like, what is wrong with you right now? Get away. This is not for you. Shoo. So it's been kissed by my cat. Blessed by Kitty. Yeah, we'll try it out. We'll see how things go. And that is the plan for this week. I still have finals that I'm cramming for. It is a lot more difficult than I expected, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know so much material was gonna be covered. And I still have a few papers that I have to finish. So it's gonna be another busy week for me. I know I said that I wanted to do a Twitter space, but I really just don't have time. Outside of stream, I've just been cramming, and I wanna pull my hair out. I know it's gonna feel so good after everything has been completed. So, just hang in there, bear with me a little longer. I'm like so tired right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it. I have many years of schooling. That's honestly the only thing I'm really good at, getting multiple degrees. So, hunkering down and cramming is my specialty. Nah, I'd win. Yeah, nah, I'd win. I win every time. But yeah, Ceravants, don't worry. You will of course get your kisses during our ASMR stream this Friday. So I'll be giving you today's kisses, Tomodachi life kisses, and obviously the ASMR kisses. So you'll get 3 kisses, okay? Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I always feel so happy whenever we get to chat. It like genuinely feels like you're like my husband. Like I can tell you anything. I just say whatever's on the top of my head, which is probably not a smart idea. You should probably get a PR person or something, or like I don't know, PR your mouth. I don't know, but genuinely, I feel so comfortable with you. I feel so safe, and it's nice. Not a significant other. Yeah, you're like my significant other or something. You're like a significant person in my life. Like I know that you're all individual people, but like as the serotonins, as like this amalgamation of like one singular being, like I feel so comfortable with you guys, and I think that's good. We can offer PR training for a price. I think you need to take it. I'm not gonna lie. I think if you offer PR training, you should probably take it yourself. Yeah, I'm really happy that we get to just chill, rest, relax, and yap like this. I will see you Wednesday morning for more silly shenanigans. Alright, let's raid. Let me see who is streaming right now. YouTube updated again for me, and now my subscription page is just like a complete mess. Sorry, Connie's not live right now, but I just saw Connie's thumbnail for when was this? May 14th at 3 p.m. PST, and it's just the surgery. It was a big success. Big catch up. Okay. No one knows what I'm talking about, but that's a really funny thumbnail. Let's raid into Amaya. She's playing Nikkei. Actually, I'm thinking of starting Nikkei as well. I have like the eye tracker and everything ready. I don't know if I'll actually play the game. I think I will at least try to, but I kind of just want to look at all the big titties. I kind of at least just want to look at the big titties first, and then maybe the big titties will like really draw me in, and then we can like focus on the story. You know. So when we have more time, I definitely want to fit that in for a stream. I think it'll be fun. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the soup. Yeah, and then after we've met the big titties, we can meet the actual girls in the story. Yeah, that's fine, right? Don't call me fake. And then I could decide on a favorite character and get really pissed when I don't get the character from the gacha. Priorities, yeah, you bet I got my priorities straight like that. Alright, let's turn it to Maya. And I will see you all on Wednesday, okay? Please wish me luck. Just know I'll be thinking of you the whole entire time. Good luck at work if you have work. If you're unemployed, enjoy. You should really do all the things that unemployed people do. Like hit your friends up at like, I don't know, 2 a.m. and be like, hey, wanna League of Legends? You know, just do all the good things that unemployed people get to do. But I'll be thinking of you, and I can't wait to have fun with all of you again. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.